Have you ever thought to wash off the dust of your soul? Most people think that they cannot draw. However, drawing was the first element of communication that humankind used. But as we have reached our highest point of our civilization, we are pulled away from our most important elements of a happy and healthy life. Nowadays, instead of drawing or writing, we most often type or even we dictate. I can say with confidence that everybody can draw based on my personal experience and 17 years of teaching art. In 2005, I was painting at the art studio of University of Pristina in a large canvas 2 by 1 meters. Now I know what you're thinking, please convert that into inches. I'm not very good at that, but I can say it's approximately of a size of a regular door. It was late after midnight and I still had paint on my palette. I did not want to waste it, so I thought I'll just grab a new canvas, splash that paint on that canvas, and it will be a nice base for the new painting that I would work on the next day. So I did, and I signed it. I signed it not because I thought the painting was finished, but because that was the class rule. I come back the next day and I could not find my painting anywhere. I started thinking maybe somebody took it and painted over it. However, my professor comes in a few minutes later and he asked if I was looking for my painting. And then he explained that early that morning there were a few art curators from Brussels and Paris that came to visit our university. He showed them around and also he showed them my artwork. He said that they loved the painting that I was working on the night before. And then he added, I also gave them that painting for the art exhibition that is going to take place in Brussels. He said, you are going to be the art ambassador representing Kosovo at the international exhibition in Belgium. I was floored. Few weeks after, upon obstacles, I finally got the visa, hopped on the plane, and went there. Guess what happened? I won the golden medal. This was just the beginning of becoming an international award-winning artist. Though it was not always this way. You see, I grew up in Kosovo, a country that was devastated by war. Gray block Soviet buildings covered in dust and smoke of bombs and cries of children. Over 13,500 innocent people and children were killed. In 1992, the situation in Kosovo was very scary and tense. Everything in Albanian was banned. Schools, radios, TV, books, music, everything. So all the Albanian schools were shut down. So during this time, my home, as well as many other homes, churches, mosques, even basements, turned into secret Albanian schools. We would hide our books on the way to our secret schools, under our jackets, so the Serbian police would not find out that we are trying to learn in our native language and native land. After a long year, the situation didn't change very much, but at least schools were open again. During this time, schools looked very different from what schools are today, but especially very different from what schools are in the United States. Teachers oftentimes were very strict and sometimes even harsh. So was my art teacher. You have to understand, though, that they were petrified, not only for their personal lives, but for the lives of their families and our lives. So one day, she walked by my desk, glanced at my painting, picked it up, and ripped it into pieces. In 1999, Serbia started genocide in Kosovo. Many families lost their loved ones. I lost my two favorite uncles, who were 18 and 19 years old. They were taken and executed, together with other men and children of the neighborhood. Experiencing all this made me feel scared, confused, hollow, and dull. I could no longer experience the colors of life. Although I was lucky that my immediate family and I were able to safely escape from the war and move to Bosnia, in Sarajevo. During this time, I would go to two schools, Bosnian school and Albanian school, during weekends. At the Albanian school, the art teacher would encourage us to raise our voice and express our feelings through our artwork. But since my last experience with my art teacher, I refused to do my assignments. I would beg my dad to do all my art assignments. Everything was going great until one day he decided deliberately to do a bad job at it. And then he told me, if you want a good job, you would be better off to try it yourself. Thanks to my art teacher and my parents' encouragement and support, I started drawing and painting again. I was able finally to feel joy and happiness. Once I started, I felt like I could not stop. Even if I had 5 minutes a day to paint or draw, that would help boost my happiness. This led me to so many incredible, beautiful experiences and success in life. I fell in love with art. I became so passionate that I decided to study art. After my first successful presentation at the art exhibit in Brussels, I was privileged to open the first personal exhibition in Brussels, and after that, so many more personal and group international exhibitions all around Europe, which for a lot of them I was decorated with awards. One of the winning award paintings now belongs to the Art Museum in Cosenza, Italy. It's still surreal to me how I became from this girl whose painting was torn into pieces for not being good enough into someone winning so many awards and civic honors. Now you might say, well, it's easy for you to draw or paint for 5 minutes a day. You're an artist. It's not true, though. Everybody can draw. As the famous artist, the father of Cubism, Pablo Picasso said, every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain one once we grow up. If you can write, you can draw. I will quote another favorite artist of mine, Paul Klee. He said, drawing is a dot that went for a walk. It's simple as that. Now you might ask, why is it so important to draw? It is really important to draw because when we draw, magic happens. when we are drawing or painting, something really beautiful happens in our brain. Unhealthy patterns get broken and they get replaced with new and healthy neural connections and pathways. After years of study and research, I have learned that the benefits that I have learned from art are universal and scientifically proven. Now study shows that art has clear connections with well-being, good health, and happiness. It takes 5 minutes a day, to paint or draw in order to boost our happiness. When we draw or paint, we use both sides of our brain, the right side for creativity and the left side for logical thinking. This strengthens both sides of our brain, creating the ability to think strategically and focus. Simply stated, art boosts happiness and can transform lives. What kind of art each person likes and what considers beautiful, it's subjective. Yet study shows that cultural experiences such as gallery and museum visits, theater, concerts, are the second most important factor of our psychological well-being. Dr. Shelley Carson from University of Harvard stated that art has the ability to improve our mood and broaden our attention. During a brain mapping experiment led by Professor neurobiologist Semir Zeki, volunteers underwent through a brain scan while viewing a beautiful artwork, because he wanted to see and understand what really happens to our brain when we are looking at beautiful artwork. The results are incredible. The scan showed that while viewing a beautiful artwork, there's a surge of dopamine triggered in our brain, resulting into feelings of love, passion, satisfaction, and pleasure. The exact same feelings that we feel when we are in love. So you can, and the results were almost immediate. So you can see clearly how art, viewing a beautiful artwork or simply drawing or painting for 5 minutes a day can make a huge impact in our lives. This concept is not new. As I've quoted him before, one of my favorite artists, Pablo Picasso, said, "The purpose of art is to wash off the dust of our soul." Let's take the dot for a walk and wash off the dust of our soul. And let's boost our happiness, because happier and healthier individuals create a happier and healthier society.